Welcome, family and friends. Thank you for joining me at Maria Loves to Talk. And what am I talking about today, you guys? A lot of stuff. Yes, a lot. I'm talking about crime, men and women relationships. 2 weeks after winning the August primary, judicial candidate Jason Kolkema appeared to viciously whip his girlfriend with a belt during an argument in Western Michigan apartment, presumably unaware that nearby witnesses were recording the scene.
Also, new developments in the case of a Muskegon County Circuit Court judge candidate charged with domestic violence. Witnesses claimed they caught local attorney Jason Kolkema on video allegedly beating his girlfriend back in mid-August. 13 on Your Side's Charlie Tinker is joining us now live moments after Kolkema formally heard the charges against him. Charlie.
Yeah, Kirk, good afternoon to you. A visiting judge from Allegan County actually had to step in, presumably out of a conflict of interest with some of the local judges who he may have interacted with in the past. And there's a lot to unpack here, so bear with us. For starters, the judge referred to a dating relationship between Kolkema and the victim in this case, who again we are not naming. We also heard prosecutors ask the judge to alter the conditions of Kolkema's bond. That's over a handful of previous orders stemming from custody arrangements with several of the victim's minor children, preventing Kolkema from having contact during her parenting time. Orders they say he violated on several occasions, also advancing what appeared to be several allegations of child abuse. From a previous case, claiming he at one point threw a bottle of water at the victim and her child. Prosecutors also brought up several alleged previous altercations between the two of them, between Muskegon and Ottawa, and a no-contact order out of a third county. Kolkema's attorney countered that, firing back. He worried the process had gone political. Take a listen to the state's response.
We are treating this no differently than any other case. We'd actually encourage the court to set this to a speedy trial so that we can have a trial sooner and not push it back and make it political. And we already have had requests from Mr. Nolan's office that the defendant wants to lift the no contact order so that the victim can be a part of his campaign and his parades. It's ridiculous.
Now, that request, though, was not granted by the judge, but in his response, Kolkema's attorney said his client had no record, was aware of a no-contact order against the victim, not Kolkema, in connection to a previous decision, but none of the other allegations prosecutors raised. Now, outside of the building here in Muskegon District Court, a demonstration advocating against domestic violence just wrapped up. They were out here starting around 9 this morning asking drivers to honk in support.
In Muskegon County, it's an issue, but more importantly, he will be able to, if he's on the bench, affect the lives of women and children in Muskegon County at a higher degree than a lot of people ever could. So we need to make sure that he doesn't get there.
Now, we were aware of another alleged incident involving one of her children and a doorknob via court documents. No charges were ever filed there. The judge, in this case...
When he noticed the onlookers from his window, the 51-year-old lawyer flashed them the peace sign and has since claimed the video isn't what it seems. He has a history of losing his temper, behaving violently around women and children, including spitting on a 12-year-old girl, and has violated court orders, lied about his relationship with his client girlfriend, battled an Eldorado addiction, and failed to pay child support, according to a decade's worth of court and police records reviewed by Free Press, part of the U.S. Today. I done heard enough. No, he don't need to be. Then he talking about, I'm sorry. So here he says, I'm sorry. We saw what we saw. The video is very damning, Fry said. It was a violent act meant to install fear. A lady is saying this. I cannot imagine a victim sitting in front of Jason Kolkema and asking him to protect her from an assailant. Heather Fry, a Muskegon woman, mother, domestic abuse survivor, and longtime victims advocate who has sat with scores of victims in court seeking personal protection orders. I'm sorry. We saw what we saw. The video is very damning, Fry said. It was a violent act meant to instill fear. Point blank. I don't know how he even monster, this thug, diabolical diabolical woman beater. Who are the people elected him? Okay, so here they're saying 2 days before the belt incident, Kolkema allegedly spit on his girlfriend's 12-year-old daughter as she slept in his apartment with her mom, despite a court order that prohibited him from being around the girl. He allegedly spewed toothpaste on the girl and her mother and then threw water on them because he was angry with a previous fight, according to Ottawa County court records. The next day, he allegedly threw a Gatorade bottle at his girlfriend and her daughter, but missed and hit a lamp. Police arrived. Kolkema told an officer his girlfriend gets like this when she is drunk and makes things up. The girlfriend then recanted and refused to cooperate. No charges were filed. I am confused. Because I thought once the police go out there and they see there's been a domestic, that these women, they're not going to just go on their recant, that the state will file the charges. So I don't understand, and I don't understand why she was not a mama bear to protect her child. You're gonna let a man spit on your child? He's gonna have Gatorade. He's throwing bottles at y'all, and y'all know I told y'all in a previous video how the mouth has so many germs in your mouth. So somebody basically took the gunk and they putting gunk on you, and we still got COVID, corona, canola, hepatitis, and TB out here, you guys. So here, moving further down, this is December. Judicial candidates caught whipping belt at girlfriend admits guilt. Case may not stay on his record, but y'all quick to give records. I'm going there, you guys. Quick to give records to everybody else, though. Just saying. Quick to give records to everybody else. Kolkema an election, but it's likely won't cost him his freedom, and his crime could get erased from his record altogether. The failed judicial candidate from Muskegon, Michigan, who was captured on video over the summer swinging his belt during an argument with his girlfriend, pleaded guilty to domestic violence this month under a program that allows first-time offenders to get the case dismissed. As they say, Willis, what are you talking about? I don't know. This is weird. While the judge took Kolkema's plea under advisement, if he completes what's required of him during the probationary period, his case will ultimately be dismissed. But y'all don't do that with other people. Are they doing it over and over? I don't understand. I'm gonna leave that one alone and let y'all figure it out, because this man is really bold. He's very dangerous. And for this woman just to stay there, the next thing, hey, he might do something to her child. He might end up get mad the next time and delete all of them, like we've been seeing in the news lately. You know, they get mad, they get tired, they don't want to go to court, they don't want to go to jail, they want to do the crime, but they can't do the time, so they delete everybody, or they just call it mental illness. Okay, so now we have men doing the Clara Harris. If y'all remember Clara Harris, she was a doctor. I forgot where she was from. She was in Clear Lake, Texas, married to they both were dentists. They had a practice together. Husband was allegedly a habitual cheater. I think she was his second wife. He was her first. They had twin boys. So she ran over him in the parking lot of a hotel where he was with his lady, who also worked at the office. I think she was their office manager. And she had his daughter from a previous marriage in a Mercedes. And she ran over him with his daughter in the car and then ran over him again. So now I'm seeing men are doing the Clara Harris on women. So here it says, police Man intentionally ran down girlfriend, teen before crashing into building. Girlfriend and teen. Wow. Detroit, Fox 2. A hit-and-run driver was arrested for intentionally running down his own family members Wednesday night in Detroit. The suspect turned himself in quickly afterward, but leaves a family heartbroken.
Yeah, this is an absolutely horrible story. 11th Precinct responding to the scene along with Special Victims Unit. Luckily, thankfully, the suspect turned himself in very quickly while we were actually still on the scene, but a family absolutely scared and heartbroken. Take a look.
I got a phone call from my sister about what was going on, and I told her I'd meet her here. And I did. And when I got here, I saw all of this. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Bridget Gaither was crossing the street with her 4 children, trying to get away from her significant other when police say he purposely drove right towards them and into the group. It happened Wednesday night at Van Dyke and Stockton on Detroit's east side. Both Bridget and her 15-year-old daughter, Brianna, hit. Rushed to an area hospital, last listed in critical condition.
It's a tragic event. It's unfortunate. He is in custody, so we will be pursuing charges with regard to this case.
After crashing his van into the side of a building and then running away, the suspect turned himself in at a nearby precinct. Family members say Bridget and the kids were walking to a bus stop not far from home, trying to get away from the suspect when he hit them.
Domestic violence is really bad to this degree. To get run over by a vehicle. That's bad.
The other 3 children not hurt physically, but the emotional scars will no doubt last for a long time. And I can tell you, that was absolutely heartbreaking. We saw the youngest children. They are 2 twins. They're twins, 6 years old. We saw them after all this. They had witnessed this, and they were hanging out in a police car for a while. But it was just absolutely tragic. They are actually the children of Bridget and the suspect. So they saw their father run their mother over. The looks on their faces, I can't even imagine what's going through their little heads right now. So our heart goes out to them. Of course, we are live at the 11th Precinct on the east side. Camila Mary Fox.
The GoFundMe page. There's people that get run over. I mean, you just getting run over. You just getting off the bus. Your kid just getting off a regular bus, or you walking, you and your spouse or whatever, and get run over. But to be intentionally run over, I mean, will they? Hopefully, they are able to walk. But I mean, what if they not totally 100% heal? You know, we have people who sometimes you might have an impairment or limping, or have to go back and do 2 and 3 or 4 more surgeries. Evil, wicked man. Evil, wicked. I don't know if those are his kids. These days, it don't even matter. It could be their kids. It might not even be their kids. They don't care. They have just an evil mentality, just a demonic spirit that, hey, if I can't have you, nobody, if you're not going to listen, do what I want, I'm going to make you suffer. Prayers go out to Ms. Gaither and her kids for complete healing. Moving on to the next clown. Boyfriend intentionally runs over girlfriend and 2 children at a gas station. Now this clown here is, I believe this one is in Florida. So this, I don't know if it's in the water. I don't know if it's a particular water. I don't know if it's in these guys' Corona. I don't know what kind of video games they're playing. Is that where they're getting it from? You know, no home training.
Man is behind bars in Volusia County today, accused of ramming his car into his girlfriend and her 2 young daughters.
Several people witnessed the attack and called 911, and the sheriff's office released those calls. We do want to give you a warning. They are difficult to listen to. West 2's Kelsey Thord has this report.
911, where's your emergency? Hello? Hello?
Heart-wrenching 911 calls released by the Volusia County Sheriff's Office reveal just how chaotic the scene was Thursday, minutes after deputies say this man, 29-year-old Nicholas Shaw, rammed his car into his girlfriend and her 2 young daughters.
He hit a little girl with the car. Her elbow is busted open.
The young girls screaming in the background as the caller tries to tell the operator what's happening.
The 2 kids are crying right now, and they're both bleeding.
According to the sheriff's office, Shaw, his girlfriend, her 2 daughters, and the couple's infant son were on their way home to Stewart that afternoon when the couple got into an argument near this BP gas station in DeLand. Deputies say the woman was holding her 3-year-old daughter with her 10-year-old daughter by her side, trying to pull her infant son out of Shaw's car when Shaw apparently yelled, "You're not going to take my son." That's when deputies say Shaw hit the gas, backing into the woman and 2 girls, hitting them with the passenger door, then putting the car in drive and running over the 3-year-old before speeding off. The woman and 2 girls were all injured in the attack. You can see in this body cam still paramedics on the ground helping them. All 3 were taken to the hospital and are expected to recover. Shaw returned to the scene soon after and was arrested.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court.
Shaw appeared in court for the first time on Friday. His lawyer asked the judge he be let out on bond, but the judge denied that request.
He literally drove over another human being on purpose, and I don't even know that person is alive. So there's going to be no bond for now.
Shaw faces 3 counts of aggravated battery, as well as child neglect and leaving the scene of an accident. In Volusia County,
3 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, the car. They are using the car as a deadly weapon now. Neglect of a child and leaving the scene of an accident with injuries. He is being held at Volusia Branch Jail with bail pending in a court appearance. So I don't know if this monster is out. He's nice looking, but he's a monster, just an evil monster. Our last diabolical road rage on your loved ones, and it also reminds me of that story that happened. I think it happened last year about this time. A woman had just a little fender bender with a dude, and this dude took off after her, running onto the pavement into the people's yard, and I think she tried to hide behind somebody's big tree or bush. He ran over this woman, just over a simple fender bender. This guy looks so familiar, or it's just a lot of dudes look like him, and you didn't hear me say it. So it says here, Sheila Matthews, Duran Jeremy Mack of Griffin is being held without bond in the Spalding County Jail after an alleged domestic dispute left a woman in critical condition. Authorities say 24-year-old Courtney Perry was found in the roadway to the rear of a Jeep Wrangler Sunday morning after police were dispatched. I don't know what site is this. This is called the Monticello News. It shows in 2021, Duran Jeremy Max, 45, Atlanta, driving without a valid license and hold for warrant out of Monroe County. So his butt was in trouble for something else a year before that. So now he's in trouble again. Domestic violence. Duran Jeremy Mack, 46, is charged with aggravated battery and assault after he was accused of intentionally running over his girlfriend during an argument. Again on a Sunday. They just keep committing crimes on Sunday. Sunday, do not commit crimes. Okay, you guys? Okay, he's 46, 24. Girlfriend, 24-year-old Courtney Perry, was found laying in the road near a Jeep Wrangler when officers arrived at the scene. That's the only thing I see here. I wish they would show her picture. 24, honey, what are you doing with a 46-year-old grandpa? That man is too old for you, and obviously we see just because there's an older dude don't mean that he's mature or he has wisdom or sense or he gonna treat you right. And this is a perfect example. He is a complete loser clown, and she's lucky she wasn't deleted. So hey, you guys, this is pretty much my stories. Let me know which one of these weird, crazy stories stand out to you. Have you been involved in this type of situation? And what can we do? What should the law do? So again, thank you. Stay healthy, happy, and blessed.